Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Class with the prayers. Ishvara Parama Krishna
Ishvara Parama Krishna
Acchidananda Vigraha
Sachidananda Vigraha
Anadir Adir Govinda
Anadiradir Govinda
Sarvakarana Karanam.
Sarvakarana Karanam.
Krishna is the supreme personality of the Godhead. Krishna is the supreme controller. Krishna is the embodiment of eternality, knowledge and bliss. Krishna is the most primeval Lord known as Govinda. Go means cows, go means senses, one who is the maintainer of the cows and the controller of the senses. And Krishna is the cause of all causes, Sarva Karana Karanam. Okay, that's the prayer. We did introduction, and in the first chapter, observing the armies on the battlefield, we discussed about Arjuna's conditions, Arjuna's reasons why he doesn't want to fight, and he giving up the mood of fighting. In the second chapter, we see Arjuna surrendering to Krishna and accepting his illusory situation wherein he is not able to understand what is right for him. So he surrenders to Krishna and he says, I'm a soul surrender unto you. Now you are my master, spiritual master. Please tell me decisively what is the best for me. And then Krishna explains in the second chapter two concepts. The first concept is about the body and the soul, analytical divisioning of the existence. That's why the Sanskrit name for the second chapter is given as Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya philosophy or Sankhya Yoga is the yoga wherein you see the divisioning of our existence being two separate things. One is body and one is soul. And Krishna explains a lot of details to Arjuna to convince him that you are not killing the soul because you cannot kill the soul. You won't be killed because you are not the body, you are the soul, and the soul never gets killed. And during the second chapter, Krishna emphasizes on his supremacy, one or two places saying that I know this and you don't know this. And in the third chapter, after knowing that we are not the body, we are the soul, the section a little bit changes towards the yoga practices. And the yoga means connection. Connection through, most of the people relate to the connection which is established through the activity or karma. Actions, what we do, through that they connect to the connection is yoga. Through that they connect to the supreme source. So karma yoga has been explained, but karma yoga here before the transcendental knowledge explained is more about the fruitive active mentality of a person. I do good, I get good. I do bad, I get bad. And then comes the fourth chapter, transcendental knowledge. Transcendental means that which is above the three modes of material nature. What are the three modes? Mode of goodness, passion and ignorance. They are the part of the material creation. Out of the five topics what we talked about, what Bhagavad Gita talks about, Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala, Karma. Prakriti is the one which is the material manifestation of material energy of the Lord, that is in the form of the three modes of material nature, to which we get in which we get interacted through our inclinations towards those modes. And Krishna has explained that this transcendental knowledge can take us back to the Godhead. But how to get this transcendental knowledge also, Krishna explains very nicely, Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevya, by surrendering on to the spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master who is connected to the disciplic succession. That was about the transcendental nature. We learned that easily to remember the sandwich philosophy, karma yoga, transcendental knowledge, and karma yoga and Krishna consciousness. So the next chapter which follows, the fourth one, is the karma yoga and Krishna consciousness. That's the chapter number 5. Here it's been explained that performing all actions outwardly but inwardly, how to renounce the fruits of every action through the fire of the transcendental knowledge. By doing that, one attains the peace, one attains the detachment, one attains the forbearance, and one attains the spiritual vision and bliss. And how was it possible? Through the fire of the knowledge of the fire of the transcendental knowledge. Outwardly doing the same activity, but inwardly getting renounced with the fruits of that activity is the karma yoga action in Krishna consciousness, excuse me. And we discussed 6th chapter, which is dhyana yoga, a little bit different from the yoga systems, what is supposed to be followed ultimately, but needs to be done to control our senses. That's dhyana yoga. Ashtanga yoga we mentioned about, a mechanical meditative process that controls the mind and the senses and focuses on the concentration of Paramatma, the super soul. The form of the Lord situated in one's heart is called Paramatma. This particular practice of dhyana yoga culminates in samadhi. Samadhi means full consciousness of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. But there should be some attraction wherein this all which you have controlled have to be dovetailed to. Then comes the chapter. Beautifully arranged these chapters are. After dhyana yoga, after controlling all the senses, after controlling your mind, these all things have to be dovetailed to something. Also, or else they will become stagnated and they cannot have proper use. So those all are dovetailed by understanding the knowledge of the Absolute. Chapter 7 was understanding the knowledge of the Absolute, right? Lord Krishna, the Supreme Truth, the Supreme Cause, the sustaining force of everything and anything, both material and spiritual. So when the souls or when the living entities get advanced towards him by their devotion, at that time their minds are fully controlled and dovetailed towards the supreme knowledge of the Absolute, and their actions are also dovetailed towards the pleasing of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. That's the knowledge of the Absolute. Then comes the 8th chapter, which is our 10th class today in Bhagavad Gita. The 8th chapter is Attaining the Supreme. You can note it down, Bhagavad Gita chapter 8, Attaining the Supreme. Attaining the Supreme. Beautiful chapter. Just to give an picture of what is given here, once we have the knowledge of the Supreme, such great knowledge, such important knowledge, either you think from the viewpoint of you getting liberated or you getting happiness or you giving pleasure to Krishna's senses, in both ways this is an amazing chapter. What chapter? Knowledge of the Absolute. And after knowing that absolute knowledge, we want to serve that absolute knowledge source. How do we do so? By remembering Lord Krishna in devotion throughout one's life, and especially by remembering Krishna at the time of the death. We can attain the supreme abode beyond the material world. So we have got the knowledge. Now information is there. That has to get transformed by practically putting theory into practicals. That is attaining the supreme. And how to attain, what is the process, how blissful it will be after attaining, is all about chapter 8. So let's start with the chapter 8. Refreshing is always good, reviving is always good. I always go through the summary of all the chapters of Bhagavad Gita almost every day. Though I have the class or not, I will go through it. It's good to know where we are, how we are, how to gauge. It starts with Arjuna's inquiry, very important. So today Ishita is writing, Niyati is listening, so Ishita has a lot of writing work today. Attaining the Supreme. So it starts with Arjuna's inquiry. Arjuna is asking some technical Sanskrit words and understanding here. He asks about 5 things. Starting of the chapter only, Arjuna asks about 5 things. Let me read the Sanskrit words. It's always nice to read Sanskrit. Kim tad brahma kim adhyatma. Who is speaking? Arjuna is speaking. So Arjuna vacha kim tad brahma kim adhyatma kim karma purushottama adi bhutam cha kim proktam adi daivam kim uchyate. Kim, lot of kims, right? Kim, American names have kim. Kim means what? He's addressing Krishna as Purushottama. Purusha means all living entities. Uttama means super, supreme person, Supreme Personality. O Supreme Person. Arjuna is addressing Krishna as O Supreme Person. And he's asking 5 questions. What is Brahman? You can note it down. What is, you can put one what is and then comma to everything. What is Brahman? What is self? What is fruitive activities? What is the material manifestation? What are these demigods? Direct question. If you read the direct translation from Bhagavad Gita 8th chapter 1st verse, it is like talking. Oh Krishna, please tell me about these 5 things. Please explain to me above all 5 things. And then he adds. 6th one, you can note it down. Who is the Lord of the sacrifice? Adhyatma Katham Kotra. Who is that? Who is the Lord of the sacrifice? How does this Lord of the sacrifice live in our body? We just understood, right, in the previous chapter, how he is there situated as Paramatma inside us. And how can one be engaged in devotional service and know you and remember you at the time of death? So 7, 8, first primary 5, and then added to it Krishna. Arjuna asks, who is actually Yajnapati? Means who is the receiver of all these sacrifices? Who is the beneficiary of all these things? Who is the giver of all the benediction to us? And how does he live in us as Paramatma? And the third one is how to engage in devotional service so that we can remember you at the time of death. That was given, right? We have to remember Krishna at the time of death so that we need not come to this material world again. Then Krishna starts speaking. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Aksharam Brahma Paramam Swabhavo Adhyatma Uchyate Bhuta Bhavodbhava Karo Visarga Karma Samnita. Beautiful verse. Krishna starts speaking. That's why it said Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Are you watching? It's never said Krishna Uvacha. It is always said Bhagavan Uvacha, emphasizing on the nature of Krishna, supreme nature of Krishna, being supreme personality of the Godhead. Bhaga means opulences, Van means one who possesses, Bhagavan means one who possesses the greatest opulences in full all the time. He is Bhagavan. So let's see what is Krishna saying. First he is explaining about Brahman. The first answer, you can write Brahman and then hyphen. What is Krishna saying about Brahman? The indestructible, transcendental, living entity is called Brahman. Then he asked about Adhyatma, right? Adhyatma. What is Adhyatma? The eternal nature of this living entity is called Adhyatma. Nature, we call attitude, right? Or nature. What is the nature of that particular person? And that nature, Adhyatma, means the nature, eternal nature is called Adhyatma. Or you can call self. So the actions pertaining to the development of these material bodies of the living entities is called karma. He asked about what is karma, right? He asked about Brahman, he asked about Adhyatma, he asked about karma. What is karma means? Whatever the actions that we do, not the actions of devotional work. You understand, right? The pious work, impious work, that kind of work. Whatever the actions pertaining to the development of the material bodies is called karma, or fruitive activity, or fruitive activities. Krishna continues. The physical nature, which is continuously changing, is called Adhibhuta, or material manifestation. That was the fourth one, what he asked, right? What is the material manifestation? The material manifestation means the nature, physical nature of a person, not the nature of first one. First one is the nature which is the eternal nature of serving Krishna. Here we are talking about the Adi Bhuta, Bhuta means living entity, the material manifestation. So here we are talking about the physical nature, which constantly changes. It is not the same nature. Yes? And the universal form of the Lord, which includes the demigod, is called Adi Daiva. The form, universal form, only has these all demigods. Demigods do not have separate identity. Nobody has a separate identity individually, independently from Krishna. So these all demigods are also part of the universal form of the Lord, like the sun, the moon, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, and so-called whatever the energies of the Lord are all Adi Daivas or the demigods. And what is Adi Yajna? Krishna is saying Adi Yajna means I am the Supreme Lord, represented as Super Soul in everybody's heart, is called Adi Yajna or Paramatma. Lot of terminology. Who is the Supreme Personality of the Godhead? Who is the Jiva? What is the material manifestation? Who are the demigods? Too many things. The physical nature is continuously changing, going through the 6 stages: the birth, the growth, remaining in this period, and they produce the offsprings, they dwindle, and they die. All the 6 changes of the material existence. That's the physical nature, which is constantly changing, and that's called Adi Bhuta. You got an idea of all this, especially 6 things. Remaining thing is how we do the devotional service, how we remember Krishna. That we will understand through the process. Next verse speaks about how you remember Krishna and what is the way to get out of this material world. Ishita, is it clear?
Yeah.
The definition, definitive wise, it's clear. Like Krishna, Arjuna asked, like, first thing he asked was, what is Brahman? Second thing he asked was, what is the creation? What is the self? What is the fruitive activity? What is the material manifestation? Who are the demigods? Who is the super soul sitting in everybody? Mainly 6 questions. And how devotional work can be performed, how that super soul is sitting in everybody's heart as Paramatma, like that. So let's go to the next verse. All the 5 have made cleared by Krishna. Who, what is what is what is what.
What did he say to the 6th question? Who is Lord of Sacrifice?
He is me. 6th question was, who is the super soul, right? So Krishna said that I, the supreme soul, represented as super soul in the heart of everybody, is Adi Yajna, Lord of the sacrifice.
Okay.
5th verse, now you can note it down, it's one of the important verses. 8.5, very important verse. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yah prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayah. Very, very, very clearly Krishna is explaining in this verse. And whoever at the end of the life quits his body, remembering me, and then there is a quote unquote capital letters word which you have to remember, alone. Remember me alone. It's not like, oh Krishna, I'm remembering you, at the same time I'm remembering my boyfriend, girlfriend, mother, father, friends, everybody. No. Krishna is specifically saying here, whoever at the end of the life quits his body, remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. And Krishna says there is no samshayam or no doubt about this. Importance of Krishna consciousness is stressed here. How can one quit the body at the time of, how can one quit the body remembering something which he didn't practice every day in his life? Very difficult. So the process is practice. Through the proper practice, we get detached from all the things. And proper detachment, you will be remembering only the things which you are attached to, and that would be Krishna. The word smaran is very, very important. Smaran means remembering. Remembrance of Krishna is not possible for the impure soul who has filled his heart with all fruitive active mentality. That's why this mantra, what we chant, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, is told to be the Maha Mantra, through which you can remember Lord Krishna, his name, his form, his leelas, his activities, his qualities, everything so nicely. And by chanting this Maha Mantra regularly, we remember about the Lord regularly. And by remembering about the Lord every day and regularly, at the time of the death, it won't be very difficult for you to remember the Krishna. And that's how you can go back to Krishna. Whichever stage, wherever, whatever state of being one remembers Krishna at the time he quits the body, he will attain me without fail. Krishna is again stressing that in whatever condition he is, whatever state he is, if he is able to remember me. Oh Mataji, many people die in accidents, many people die in unknowing situations wherein we won't be able to remember Krishna at that time. In the sleep someone dies, what happens? He won't be able to remember Krishna. In a road accident, if somebody dies, he won't be able to remember Krishna. Sudden heart attacks, he won't be able to remember Krishna at that time. So how to make a perfect endeavor to remember Krishna all the time? Okay, the situations where your consciousness is not allowing you to remember Krishna, then Krishna counts all the things what you did in your whole life. Krishna can see everything. Krishna can feel everything. You can cheat anybody but not Krishna. The process of changing one's nature at the critical moment of death is being explained here. A person who is at the end of the life, when he is quitting the body, is thinking about Krishna, he attains the Supreme Lord. But it is not the person who is thinking something other than Krishna attains the same transcendental state. Very carefully we have to understand this. There is a story of Bharat Maharaj in Srimad Bhagavatam. He's a great personality. He's a very, very great personality. He did his ruling nicely. He did his bhakti nicely. He grown up his children very nicely with Krishna consciousness. And then he was renounced with all those things. He went to the forest. He was living in a secluded place. Somehow there was a deer, the mother deer, and then the baby deer. It's a big story, but he fell in attachment with the baby deer. He fell in so much attachment of the baby deer that he forgot his all renunciate life, his all austerities, what he used to do, his all aim of the life, goal of the life, and he got so much attached to the deer. And one day the deer was not visible, and he was thinking he was responsible for the deer not to be protected, and he was so much attached, and he left his body thinking about the deer. And what happened? He did so many nice things. He was a perfect ruler, he was a perfect family member, he was a perfect devotee, he renounced everything, he was doing all his austerities properly and everything. But this little attachment towards the deer was a checkpoint, and he took, and his birth next life was a deer. Look like it's compassion, look like he's very kind, looks like he's very nice, but that's not the ultimate thing. It's an attachment. So Krishna is telling to Arjuna, always think of me, and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty. Krishna is not just saying think of me, sit in the forest and think of me, think of me, think of me. No, think of me while you are performing your duty. And the duty of Arjuna here in the battlefield is to fight. Oh Mataji, how to know what is my duty? Somebody can ask, how to know what is my duty? Everybody's universal duty is to remember Krishna and follow the words given by the Krishna. Yes, according to your nature, you choose different duties. But what is the universal duty is remembering and following Krishna. With, as Krishna says to Arjuna, with your activities dedicated unto me. This is very important. Doing the activity is less important than dedicating the activity itself to Krishna. Niyati, ardhamotuna. We do a lot of activities according to our nature, according to our inclination. but what is the intention behind doing that activity? To whom you are dedicating that activity to? Where is your mind and intelligence fixed? Is it fixed on Krishna or it is fixed on you? Depending on that, either you will go to Krishna or you will go to your attachments where your mind is fixed. Intention behind serving. Who is in the center? Either for your action or for the results. It's always Krishna. It's always Krishna. It should be always Krishna. But it is not always Krishna. That's why we take different bodies. Krishna says, through the practice, if one remembers me, his constantly mind engaged in remembering me, undivided from the path. Only one point Krishna is telling in 4 different verses from 4 different angles how one should remember Krishna. He should remember him alone. He should not have any attachments on anything. His mind should be constantly engaged, constantly, not for the 1 hour in the everyday morning 7 to 8, but constantly attached in Krishna and in remembering Krishna, undeviated from the path. You take these competitive exams, right? You are all in that verge of going for competitive exams, right? When you go to these competitive exams, you will not have anything in your mind. What would be my breakfast, lunch and dinner? What would my mom give me for next day, sweet dessert or whatever it is? It's always the exam. Every corner you see, you will see from the viewpoint of that exam. Your mind is thinking about the exam, your eyes are seeing the things, but your mind is completely occupied by the exam and the exam questions and exam answers. Anything it may be, like you both are into dance and everything. Yeah, one of you or both of you, whatever it is, any activity you do, if it is your arangetram or it is your steps or if you dance, might be anything, it's completely occupied in your mind, because that is the destination, that is the goal, that is the aim, that you want to ace it or you want to do it perfectly or you want to do it as an offering to your teacher or parents or anything. It's completely occupied. The mind is completely occupied by that activity. So here Krishna is saying neither the activity should take over your mind nor the result of the activity should take over your mind. You should know that I am the giver of everything and your mind should be focused on me and perform those activities, or wait for the results or not wait for the results, taking full shelter of me. We should know the personality whom we are surrendering to first. That's the reason we have got this chapter of knowledge of the Absolute before even trying to attain the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. We first understood the knowledge of this Supreme Personality. So one should meditate upon this Supreme Personality as the one who knows everything. Krishna is the one who knows everything. He is the oldest of the oldest. He is the controller of everything. He can go to smallest of the smallest also. He is the maintainer of everything. He is beyond our material conception. He is inconceivable. And he is easily accessible as another personality. He is luminous like a sun. He is transcendental. He is above the 3 modes of material nature. He is beyond this material manifestation. If you see, everything is Krishna's, right? There is nothing of not Krishna's. The material nature is Krishna's, the sun is Krishna's, the moon is Krishna's, the Adi Yajna demigods are Krishna's, the inconceivable nature of Krishna is Krishna's. He being the controller is Krishna, he being the biggest of the biggest is Krishna, he being the smallest of the smallest is Krishna. He is the maintainer of everything, he is the creator of everything, and after dissolution everything goes into him. So he is everything. This is the knowledge of him. Once you have this knowledge, why would you think about something else? Temporary things, illusory things. When we get attracted to these illusory things, girls, we take false designations. This is called upadhis. Upadhi means designations. I am this, 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 I am this. And we forget our eternal who am I. I am the soul surrendered to Krishna. I am the part and parcel of Krishna. What is my job? To get connected to Krishna. And what is the process? By always remembering Krishna. And in this Kali Yuga, how to remember Krishna is performing the Nama Sankirtan, which is Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Next verse is really amazing. It's the 10th verse. You can note it down. 8.10. प्रयाणकाले मनसा चलेन भक्त्या युक्तो योगबलेन चैव भ्रुवोर्मध्ये प्राणमावेश्य सम्यक् सतं परं पुरुषम् उपैति दिव्यम्. So one who at the time of the death, this is about the yogis. We just did dhyana yoga couple of chapters, one chapter back. A yogi, or one who at the time of the death fixes his life hair in between the eyebrows, and by the strength of yoga with an undeviating mind engages himself in remembering the supreme personality of the Godhead, will certainly attain me, O Arjuna. See, this yoga balena word is very significant, girls, in this verse, because without the practice of yoga, whether it's bhakti yoga or satkara yoga, one cannot attain to this transcendental state of being at the time of death. If you don't control your senses, if you don't control your mind, how can you remember Krishna? How can you perform any activity through mind or words or body to Krishna? It is not possible. So the controlling is important. There are chakras, but everything is possible when you always remember about Krishna. When you remember about Krishna, you can forget about other things. Why do we need to forget, Mataji? I like remembering all these nice things to me, all my nice friends, my nice parents. I will remember Krishna also. I will thank Krishna also for giving them to me. But I like them. You like them, you come back here. Whom you like them today, you may not like them tomorrow. Oh no, Mataji, from the time of my birth, I love my parents. I will not forget them. I will not be any time envious about them, any time angry on them. Every day you are angry with your parents for some or the other things. You don't know, but you get angry. You feel angry about them, or you feel not happy with them. Sometimes. Mind is like that. Mind job is accepting and rejecting. Oh, you are not going to take this subject in your master's or PhD, or this should not know. You take this one because this is better. Who they are to decide my life? This extracurricular activity is good for you, focus on this. Or this dance is good for you, learn dance. Or this math is good for you, take some extra classes. We may not like everything. Who likes to study all the subjects in the school? Everybody has one or two subjects which they don't want to study at all, and that most aversion to me is the math. I don't like math. I get nightmares. Not now, but before Krishna consciousness, when I used to sleep, after the marriage, after the kids also, when I get up in the night at any time, I would get up only because I have a nightmare that I'm sitting in an exam hall with completely blank mind and having the math paper before me. Some everybody has it. We don't like to do it, but still we do it. In the case of spirituality, we don't have the knowledge of how important it is. That's the reason jivas go away from Krishna. Our ignorance is the reason for not accepting Krishna, and that ignorance can be cleared by knowing the supremacy of Krishna, by knowing what Krishna can give us, by praying to Krishna how we can be really get into the spiritual world where there is no problem at all. You want ice cream will be. You want pizza, you will get. After eating ice cream in the cold winter season in Goloka also, you will not get cold. No other consequences of our activities, because everything we are doing as part and parcel of Krishna, everything we are doing involving Krishna, everything we are dovetailing it towards Krishna. This yogic positions, this yogic process, closing the doors of all senses, fixing the mind and heart on the life here, how I will leave the body. Yes, you can do, but it is not very practical. We can't sit at one place and give the class or listen the class for 1 hour. What we will do whole lifetime sitting in the yogic process. We might sit also because of our determination. How about our tongue? How about our mind? The yogi leaves everything. Not everybody, but some fake yogis leave everything here and go sit in the Himalayas or mountain areas, secluded places, kushagra, soft cloth, everything, as we discussed in Dhyana Yoga. And when they are doing in the dhyana, if the wife is coming, if the child is coming, if the old house is coming, if these things are coming, there is no point. They're carrying their mind with them. Renouncing the mind is important. And how do we renounce the mind? By engaging the mind in proper way. Om ityaksharam brahma vyaharan mamanusmaran yah prayati tyajan deham seyati sayati paramam gatim. The yogis also, after fixing themselves in this position of controlling everything, they meditate on the sound vibration called Om. And Om comes from Krishna. The most primeval mantras we studied in the previous chapter. Om comes from Krishna. Krishna says, Satatam kirtayanto mam. Always think about me, always remember me. It's not possible, right? It's not possible because of our material minds. But whatever we do, if we see Krishna in the activity, what we do, then we can remember Krishna. I'm reading today because that's the mercy of Krishna. Mataji is telling and I am understanding, that is because of the mercy of Krishna. I'm able to spend early in the morning, 7 o'clock, where everybody is sleeping in this summer season. We both are sitting here and listening to the classes. Is the mercy of Krishna. That is remembering Krishna. When you remember Krishna without any deviation, you are for sure easily can be taken to the eternal destination. Because you are engaging yourself. Mataji, how about love? If I don't love Krishna, I'm doing this, I'm trying to remember Krishna, I'm seeing Krishna as the giver of everything, I'm seeing Krishna as the supreme personality of everything, I'm seeing Krishna as the creator of everything, maintainer of everything, and healer of everything, but still I'm not feeling this feeling of love in me. How about that? If I don't love Krishna, how about that? The process is so purificatory that if you get attached to the process of Krishna consciousness also, the journey itself will lead you to the transcendental position of loving Krishna. You won't feed your hand, you won't mix your rice and feed your hand because your hand needs more nutrition. Suppose one of the hand is weak in your both hands. You won't mix the nice nutritious vitamin D food and put it into the hand which is not very strong, right? You'll put it in the mouth only. So ultimately we all have to go to Krishna only. There is no other way. Satatam nityasha, which means always, which means regularly, which means every day. How can we experience all these relationships with Krishna unless we make Krishna as our family or as our everyday interaction, whomever you interact with? You interact with your college students, you interact with your college teachers, you interact with your family members, and you only go to pray to Krishna, then you cannot have any relationship with Krishna other than, oh, Krishna is the God. But when you involve Krishna in everything, in your actions, in your thoughts, in your result-giving nature, then it is good. When I go out, I'll say, Krishna, I'm leaving, I'll come back in so and so hours, I have given you food, please take that food, I will come back and see you. When I come back, I go and bow down to Krishna and say that, oh, Krishna, you are so wonderful to make me meet this person, or help me taking up this situation nicely. Or sometimes I go and tell sorry to him. Oh, Krishna, I couldn't tell sorry to the other person, my ego was hurting, but I'm telling sorry to you that I have behaved in that way with him. This is involving Krishna. Krishna as our eternal supreme father. Mamupetya punarjanma dukkhalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmana samsiddhim paramam gatim. we have to realize this, that the material world is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Dukkhalayam means, alayam means shelter, or alayam means a house. So after attaining me, to attain me, nobody feels that this particular place is a place of permanent residence. This place, they will feel that this is a place of full of miseries, dukkhalayam, and it is ashashvatam. It is not permanent, it is temporary. Even if you may see some happiness in this world, that is temporary. So why to spend whole human life to get something which is temporary? Instead, if you utilize this human life for the actual purpose of realizing God and never have this life at all again, that is more intelligent work. They will never turn to this material world again, because they have realized it's not worth place. It's a full of miseries and it is temporary. From the highest planet of the material world to down to the lowest places of the miserable condition, the repeated life and death is the same thing. They have to come back, they have to come back, they have to come back, they have to come back. But one who performs devotional service, keeping Krishna in the center, or the source of everything in the center, they need not come back to this material world. And there is whole devastation of this material universe. Brahma and the devotees who are constantly engaged in Krishna consciousness are all transferred to the spiritual universe. Why not we? By human calculation, 1,000 ages taken together, the form of duration of this Brahma's one day, and the same thing as 1,000 yugas of Brahma's night. In this whole time, we have to Brahmanda Brahmite Kone, go again, come again, go and again, come and again. Again, we have to see this morning, waking up early morning, doing these all things, working every day. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, madam, yes, madam. How many days? Yes, mummy, yes, daddy, yes, sister. Many times it's obligatory, many times it's not happy. With Krishna it's always happy. At the Brahma's beginning of the day, everything comes into manifestation, and from the unmanifested state, and when the night falls, they are all merged into unmanifested state again. But in this between manifested and unmanifested and unmanifested and manifested, we go through a lot. But devotees need not go through all those things. They can fly in the time. They can easily transcend. Then Krishna says, I shall now explain the different times of passing away from the world. Yet the yogi wants to pass away at certain time, a yogi does not want to pass away or leave the body at certain time. Antam gada Uttarayanamu, Bhishma Panchaka, this time is auspicious. This is not applicable for the devotees at all, kids. Baldev Vidyabhushan, a great acharya, writes, Kala, or the time, doesn't matter for the devotees. What matters is whether he is remembering Krishna or not. In a very auspicious time, in a very wonderful time, if he leaves the body without remembering Krishna, so he will not obviously go to Krishna. That's for sure. But even in an inauspicious time, when he remembers Krishna, all auspiciousness is benedicted to him, is given to him. The key is remembering Krishna. What is this air, body, fire, ether? Everything will go. What remains is the consciousness with us, and that has to be filled with Krishna. More details are given about dhyana yogis in this chapter, how they leave the body. The devotees know both the paths. Krishna tells to Arjuna, the devotee also knows the dhyana yoga path. The devotee knows also the bhakti yoga path. But Arjuna, they are never bewildered. They will be always fixed in the bhakti path, being fixed in the devotion, so that it is, because it is very easy and very practical. And we can relate. The main thing is we can relate. In the other paths we cannot relate to Krishna. A person who accepts this devotional service is never bereft of all the results of other like studying Vedas, doing sacrifices, undergoing great austerities, giving charity. These all things are good, right? According to Vedas and Shastras, these all activities are good. But he will not be bereft of the results of all those activities if he does devotional service. He attains all these as byproducts or attached things. You don't make a separate endeavor to all those things because you are getting the supreme, you are getting the highest. One should understand the instructions given by Krishna in this chapter and the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and then one should try to understand this knowledge without mental speculation. If the mind comes in between, that means you are surrendering to the mind, you are not surrendering to the instruction of Krishna. I'm not asking make the mind dumb, I'm telling make the mind more intelligent to accept what should be accepted. The first 6 chapters, last 6 chapters in Bhagavad Gita, which are especially protected by the Lord. If one is fortunate enough to understand Bhagavad Gita, especially the middle 6 chapters, in the association of the devotees, one becomes glorified beyond all these penances, sacrifices, charities, speculations, etc. Simply by becoming Krishna conscious. So 7th chapter to 12th chapter, the middle 6 chapters, very important. One who has little faith in Bhagavad Gita also, which he can get it through the 4th chapter, which is transcendental knowledge. It is stated clearly in Bhagavad Gita that we get the knowledge through the Guru, and once we have to surrender, once we surrender unto Krishna Guru, this knowledge is imparted onto us. Once he has this little faith in Bhagavad Gita, also with the mercy of the Guru, it is not hard for him to attain the eternal nature of Krishna, eternal abode of Krishna, and eternal relationship with the Krishna. Not many verses in this chapter, we have only 28 verses, but it gives the whole essence, saying that how important is this knowledge, knowing the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, attaining the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. And next chapter is more wonderful, it's called most confidential knowledge. Krishna gives the most confidential knowledge to Arjuna. Mataji, was not this the most confidential knowledge? Yes, it is the knowledge to attain the Supreme, but it is more confidential knowledge is coming, upcoming trailer. One relishes the study of Bhagavad Gita and attains the state of feeling always with Krishna by reminding oneself about all the instructions given by Krishna to Arjuna. So that is the process we are doing. Process itself is susukam kartum avyayam, means it is very happy process. It's not stressful process. It's very, very happy process. Because this process makes us feel our eternal nature. This process makes us feel our connection with the Supreme Lord. Yes? First we have to know what is our eternal nature in order to feel that connection. And Krishna explains step by step, everything, who we are, what we should do, how we can get connected. Yes, many people have a lot of attachment because of which they will not be able to connect overnight or over lifetime. Sometimes it takes some people many lifetimes. But this knowledge is important. One who is intelligent will not waste his time. No, I want this also, in this pocket I want to carry that, in that pocket I want to carry that. Okay, the spiritual growth will be there, but very slow, because the attachment part is there towards Krishna, but there is no detachment part from this material world. I think we are good. We are good with the time also. I think yes, it's 8 o'clock. We have some more time today, is it? The recording says 60 minutes already. Anyhow, we can have some time in the discussion.